Welcome to DIU Escape Room Reviews. I'm Dom.
I'm Phil.
That is Phil.
Yes.
We're now into Season 3, Episode 1. We're going to talk about our Rhode Island trip. We did 8 rooms in 3 days.
Road trip.
8 rooms in 3 days in 5 different companies. And, I don't know, I thought it was a pretty good experience.
I thought it was a great time.
We'll get more into, like, why, but as we go on to the rooms, we want to talk about our first room we did there. We didn't even check into the hotel yet. We booked it, boom, did a room. Now, I gotta say, this is probably one of my favorite immersive rooms. It's Roomination, and it was their Zen room. That's right. You okay there, doggy? You're okay there. All right.
This is one of my favorite rooms of the trip.
It was mine too, honestly. Just the immersion, really.
Yeah.
Immersiveness of this room was unreal.
I like that it was a different take on the theme. It was a different kind of theme than we're used to seeing.
Yep. Yeah, we've never seen a Zen room before. And it had a big wow factor. I'll be honest. At first, I thought we were, when we first got into the escape room, I'm like, okay, we've seen stuff like this before.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, wow, everything was really done very well. It was.
I agree totally.
These guys really put some effort into this room.
I think when you first walk in and you look at it, the initial, from walking through the door, the initial in my mind was, okay, this looks like 100 other places we've been in.
Exactly.
And then within the first minute, 2 minutes of looking around, things started happening.
I actually forgot about that. You're right.
That were just
wow factors.
They started blowing my mind from that point on.
Yep.
And it just got better.
Exactly.
It got better and better and better.
Exactly. We got to talk with these guys. We didn't do interviews. We don't do interviews. We don't really tell them that we're reviewers until after we're done with everything, because we don't want any kind of special treatment. We don't want people being fake. We want real reactions, so we just have conversations.
Couple great guys too.
They really are. They
real
really
nice, real interested in what's going on in the industry, and wanted to talk about it. You know what? They made it themselves, and they were proud of it, and they should be.
They should be. Very proud of it.
When you make something and you're proud of it, you like to talk about it.
Exactly. This room, I highly suggest doing this room if you're in Rhode Island. They're in Providence, right down, pretty much right off Main Street. And they're right in the heart of. Actually, they're right in the heart of all that construction that's going on. But there's a parking lot
right
around the corner. There's parking garages all over, so it's parking is not a problem. Actually, parking wasn't even all that much either. So most places, I think they were only charging like $10 for the whole day. So not too shabby. Anyway, so they have 2 rooms here. The Zen room, which is what we did, and they were
the only one that was open when we were
right, and they were almost ready to open their second room. And if they had it open while we were there, they would have called us. We would have definitely just said, you know what, let's go do the room.
Yeah, they were very interested in us doing it. They took our number and they were But
the other room is Hyperborea.
I'd say that's how you say it.
It's very futuristic. Almost looks like an iRobot picture that they have on here.
We have not done this room.
We have not done this room, so we can't really comment on it. But it's a lot of tech. They told us there was going to be in it. A lot of tech. Which in all reality, the Zen room had some pretty cool tech in it.
And it was all designed by them.
Right, completely, 100% designed by them. And now they fell into the same, Rhode Island's really cracking down on escape rooms.
Since the fire.
Since that stupid fire in Poland. Like something that happened across the freaking world, on the other side of the world. So they had a lot of trouble at first opening, I believe, because fire marshals and whatnot. And I believe Connecticut, they're cracking down everywhere now. Connecticut, Mass. I don't understand what there's to crack down on, but it is what it is.
Well, I think that it's a type of industry that, because it's so new, they don't know how to respect it, and they're trying to group it in with existing other types of industries.
Right.
And a lot of these inspectors don't understand low voltage, and they don't understand, that you're not locked in. They don't understand the way magnetic things work.
Right.
And, they're doing their thing to save, what they know how to do.
Right. I mean, they're just trying. They're honestly all just trying to be safe with the whole building and everything, which is understandable, but they don't understand the nature of the business, I think. So, not so much that it's all low voltage, this, that, the other thing, but it's just the nature of the business.
Right.
So, anyway, Zen Room, again, one of my favorites that we were up here, while we were up in Rhode Island. All in all, without really trying to give anything away, I would rate this room probably, I want to go almost 3 3/4. I mean, I want to go 4 because of the immersiveness, but
I'm going 4 with it.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'll agree with you. We'll go 4. This was a 4-star room all day long.
Like I said, when you walking in,
that's true.
The door wasn't a wow, but it was like they were toying with you, because as soon as you started the room, that's when the wow hit you, and it hit you quickly, and then it just kept building from there.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? And so 4 all day long. Again, it's Roomination. You'll see the website down here somewhere. We don't know where yet because it'll be in post-production. So let's jump into Riddle Room. This was the second set of rooms that we did. They have 2 rooms. These guys are located in... where the hell are they located?
They're in a harbor area.
They are in a harbor area, and I want to say East Greenwich?
Right on a corner.
East Greenwich. They're in East Greenwich, Rhode Island. They're actually opening a second location.
Yep.
I forgot where they said they were going to open a second location, but they're going to be opening a second location. And this place here, kind of wish my shirt was clean. Kind of wish you had one that fit. These guys were really, really cool people. We met the owner. I'm not sure if the lady game master was part owner or if she was just an employee. Not 100% sure, but very, very, very nice people. We actually joined their fan club.
Yes.
And we got all their swag. We got t-shirt. We got
shot
glasses, pint glass, magnet, sticker, everything. And it wasn't a bad price, I gotta say. Plus, we get, I believe it's 20% off all future games for the next year or 2, something like that. So when they open up their second place, we'll have to take a trip out. We get 20% off. So with this, we started. We kind of called them and just booked it.
Yeah.
So we called them and booked it. Also with that fan club, we had two tickets each when we paid for it, so it covered both rooms for us. So it worked out really well. I suggest joining their fan club. In the long run, you'll save some money.
And you get some all cool stuff.
You get all their swag and whatnot. So we started off with Murder Mystery 2. Now they had one room before this, and it was Murder Mystery, I believe. So they closed the room down and then continued on with Murder Mystery 2. We didn't play the first one. You don't need to play the first one to play this one. They tell you the whole backstory. Pretty good backstory, I gotta say. They were pretty enthusiastic about how they presented the backstory before you went into the room.
Yep.
For both rooms. Murder Mystery, we've seen on other reviews, you walk in and it's this big room. And it kind of just looks like your typical escape room, in a way. They have pictures up. You can see them all. So I'm not really spoiling anything.
I thought when you first walked in, there was a nice wow factor with some of the decor, the way they had it. Some of it wasn't. Some of it was just decor. Some of it wasn't, props that you were engaged with.
Right.
But it was just. It had a cool little appearance to it that I liked a lot.
To me, it looked like a lit up, like almost back shed where somebody would murder you and chop you up, and it was cool. There is one great wow factor in this room. I'm not spoiling that. You guys have to book the room and check it out yourself. The only downside, as we said to this, and actually the owners agreed with us too, is goddamn safes.
This seems to be a running theme throughout escape rooms that use safes. There's not many that really have it down
very well.
We've seen safes where they're digital and the lockout time is anywhere from 3 minutes to 15 minutes.
Right.
These were older safes that the combination, the way you put it in, was different than you would expect.
Right.
And the cool looking safe.
Yes, very cool looking safe.
Very old safe.
Yep.
But again, when you're used to doing something a certain way, and they did, in their defense, they
had a paper.
They had a paper right there, and
it just, for some reason, it just wasn't clicking with me. You don't like the combination.
I hate combinations.
You hate,
I hated them in high school.
Yeah.
I hated them in middle school.
Yeah.
I can't.
And I'm usually pretty good with them, but this one, for the life of me, I couldn't do. Tried. We got out, though. We figured it out. We got out.
It was down to the wire.
Yeah, right down to the wire. Right down to the last few seconds. We did it. But all in all, I think I would go with this room being, honestly, a 3.5. I'm going to go 3.5 with this room. Mainly because of that damn safe. Everything else was great. To me, it wasn't as much of a wow factor as the Zen Garden, but I mean, two different subjects, but escape room is escape room. So.
I thought it was a solid room. I loved that wow factor.
Yeah.
I loved the appearance of it. The safe kind of killed it for me a little bit. There was another game that was a major part of the solution that kind of killed it for me.
Oh,
because I didn't care for that game.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Other than that, I thought all the other puzzles and all the other games I really liked in there. And when you average everything out, I think I'm at a 3 for that room.
So we got 3 and 3.5. Let's run over to the second game. La Cosa
Nostra. Get that Italian in you. Come on.
Right. So,
this is my favorite room there.
I enjoyed this room a lot.
And to be honest, this is my favorite room in Rhode Island.
I'll agree with you, honestly. This was very well done. This room was very well done. You're set on Main Street in well, it's Rhode Island, but you're in a mafia town. That's what you are in. And you gotta you gotta figure it all out.
Yeah, you have to earn
You're infiltrating
your
Rhode
way
Island
into the mob.
Yeah.
The delivery system I thought was unique and fit the room very well.
Right, but not the first time we've thrown into that.
No,
Okay, so
but it was.
But it was very good.
It was. It's one of those things that it goes to show you don't need a monitor to be a delivery system. You
Right.
could have something that fits into the room.
and on top of that, there were no monitors in either room.
No.
There were no monitors,
No.
so you really didn't know how much time you had left. I think they chirped or they would say something through the door on one of them, but or if they wanted to give you a hint, give you something to push you a little bit further, then they would tell you, okay, listen, you have a half hour left, or something like that. So it was I thought that was very well done.
Yep.
I'm not a huge fan of monitors, although I do find that when they're not in the room, I kind of miss them. So it's kind of like, goddamn.
I don't mind a monitor. We've seen some rooms that it's integrated well into the room. It's almost hidden
Right.
in the room, as opposed to the room is very immersive, and then all of a sudden here's this big screen that doesn't fit anything.
Right.
I think that the screens are fine if they're hidden in the room, hidden in the decor.
Right. I gotcha.
You know,
I agree.
to that way it doesn't break the immersiveness all that much.
Right. I agree.
This is a room for me. I'm a mafia guy. I like mafia movies and Sopranos and all that. And to me, there's a lot of little inside jokes and inside things in there that I appreciated. I know I chuckled to myself a couple times with some of the names and some of the places. And just the way it's done, I think it was very immersive and very well done.
I thought so too. I mean, you can see their pictures on their website, their Facebook page. Their website will be down here. They actually, I forgot what year car that was, but it's a real car in there that they cut in half, spray painted it, and put it in the room.
Yep.
It's a real car. So,
then
we've seen some rooms where they had parts of cars or whatever, but this is half of a real car, like front to back.
Another thing I want to mention about this room and about this place, you mentioned before, we met the guy, met the people there, great people. This is a great example of when they know there's something not quite right going on in the room. There was one puzzle that just wasn't operating the right way.
Yeah.
And we've been in other places where the game master would have been like, hey, you know what? Whatever. They came in, they took care of it, they really, went above and beyond and stepped up and
remedied the situation
without ruining the experience.
Right.
They were able to do it in such a way that it didn't ruin the experience, and I liked it. I liked being there. I liked being in that room. I would hang out in that room.
I think I would too.
It
was a really cool room. Everything, right down to all the details were very, very well done. We actually now are part of the passport crews, and although this is an empty passport, we got our first stamps from Riddle.
Yep. And they were kind of excited to stamp it.
Yeah, they were.
I think we were one of their first stamps that they've done.
Close to it, probably. We've gone to a couple other places. They asked if we had the book. Totally forgot to bring a passport with us. We got to throw it in the car and leave it in there. So we did get our first stamps. So, if you guys are enthusiasts, this is just a fun thing to do. Go to We the Enthusiast or check out your local escape room. Maybe they're selling them. They're only $10. They're $10.
You've got freaking mail.
I got freaking mail.
And it's a real passport.
It
real
looks
deal.
like a real passport.
I got a real passport, and mine looks pretty well close to that.
You get stamps. You get this. They sell filler paper if you want to do that. I ended up buying 4. I mean, for $10, you can't go wrong. And since you and me always do the rooms together, we're just going to freaking fill them up as we go.
Yeah.
And then we'll just continue with them. So now we're good for a little while.
And if you're the owner, make up a little stamp. It's just cool.
Yeah, make a stamp. Get a stamp done.
It's just a little fun thing. It's pretty cool. Everyone gets excited about it.
Right. I mean, granted, we've been keeping track of the log and everything else. I mean, we have 89 rooms done now in a year and 2 months. Almost to the day. A year and 2 months. Working on number 90 pretty soon. Maybe possibly 92, 91. But all in all, I'm gonna rate this room definitely a solid 4. Again, I don't like you, not giving out too many 5s, but this was definitely a solid 4 room for me.
I'm gonna give it a 4 also. I would give it a 4.5. I don't give out many 5s.
Right.
I was really close to going 5. The reason not going 4.5 was there was the safe again in this room, and there was that one puzzle that just didn't work. And knowing that it's in there, they knew that it was in there. I mean, they did remedy it.
They remedied, the safe, but not so much the other. Well, they remedied the other thing too, but that's where you should be going over your own props and puzzles and everything to make sure that everything is right.
Every morning, do a quick run through the room.
Even when you're putting it all back up, when you're setting it all back up again, double check it all.
But I'm gonna give it a solid 4.
Yeah,
it's really good. I would highly recommend it. My favorite in Rhode Island.
Top 2, but top 2 in Rhode Island. Probably my favorite in Rhode Island right now. For the whole game flow too. It was just a great game. So again, Riddle Room, littleroom.com, or it's actually riddleroom.com. Check them out. And we'll jump into our next one. The place just opened 3 weeks before we got there.
I love this place.
This place was awesome. It's called Curiosity Shop. They're in... They call it...
We're not in Rhode Island, so these names are a little new to us.
They're saying their address is Wakefield. Our GPS never found the Wakefield, but we found the place.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like... If you're from Connecticut, it's kind of like Naugatuck, Union City, Shelton, Huntington, White Hills, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what it is.
And if you're not from Connecticut, Derby, if you're not from Connecticut, then you have no idea what we're talking about.
Right. But I'm sure that you guys, other places have it too. Curiosity Shop. This place, I'll tell you what, they were open, I believe it was 3 weeks, right? And as soon as I think you called and set it up, and they were so excited.
It was a father and a son.
Yep.
And the wife is a part of it. She wasn't there.
I think it's the wife's deal, really. She just wasn't there. They have 2 rooms right now. These people were so nice. They have fresh-made donuts.
Awesome
fresh-made donuts.
Best freaking donuts that I've had in a long time.
Award-winning. They had. Very good donuts. Very good donuts. They have 2, like I said, they have 2 rooms. They have Dr. Popwell and Mrs. Young's lab. That was the first room we did.
Yep.
And honestly, I'm not a huge fan of labs and science, and I understand some things you need science for, this, that, the other thing. But I mean, I thought this was a decent room. I thought there was some confusion though. There was actually, to me, there was quite a bit of confusion. You had mentioned that you thought that they bought the rooms and whatnot, but I think they put them together themselves.
It's possible.
I don't think they're bought stories or something, but aside from that, overall it was a good room, but I just wasn't a fan of the room. Because of I'm not a fan of labs.
I will say, lab rooms are one of those things where they're either done really well or they're not.
Right.
And
Right.
this one, I liked this one better than the other
Some of the
lab
other labs
room
we've
that
done.
we've seen in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
It had enough stuff in it to keep me interested. I liked it. I liked the room. I thought it was, it was for their first rooms. I thought it was great. It really did.
We beat it.
Yeah.
They pushed us along. I think they were a little excited because they did push quite a bit.
They have to learn how to be game masters.
Just to slow down and let everybody do what they got to do. We didn't really pay attention to a lot of it, but
I know there were a couple times between both rooms
yeah,
that we were right at that aha moment, and they
would push it.
Yeah, they pushed it, and I think that's, they're not experienced game masters.
Right.
And I think that when they do run 100, 200 more games, then they'll fall into it a little bit better.
They'll get it.
Great guys. I mean,
Very great guys.
very friendly. And I liked the puzzles in the room. I thought that most of the puzzles in the room were nice puzzles.
Yeah. Well, actually, I liked the last end puzzle. That was good. I mean, like I said, all in all, it was a good room. I'm just not a fan of lab rooms.
Yeah.
So,
I did like their other room better.
me too. I mean, all in all, I'll give this room. This room is a solid 3 for me.
I'm at a solid 3.
Yeah, it was very well done. Some tweaks need to be made here or there. Slow down on any kind of help that you want to do. Unless they're really asking for it, then you do it. I think we may have asked for one clue or something, but we only ask people to push us along if they don't see it. We don't really want to ask for clues.
Yeah, nudges here and there.
Yeah, if you really see we're getting stuck on something, then push us, give us something. But I believe that they were a little heavy, and granted, like you said, it's because I believe they're brand new and just not used to it. And they're very excited.
Yeah,
and it's understandable.
They want you to finish that room,
Right?
And
right.
It is what it is.
All right, so solid 3s across the board. Second room we did with them was, go ahead, Phil. I know you love this name.
The bunker.
The bunker.
You and Wood Army's bunker.
All right. It took a few minutes to really figure it out.
I caught it right off the rip.
Because they kept just saying Ewan, and then it's like, wait, what army?
Ewan Wood Army.
Yeah.
That is a great name.
Great play on the name, on the words. This by far was my favorite out of the two. I thought this was done very well.
Yep.
I would consider this a 2-room game. Just like the first one was a 2-room game.
Yep.
I consider this one to be a 2-room game.
I do.
Stuff was very well done. There was just one little confusion, and it was you and me both that just really couldn't figure it out. Having to do with, we'll just say food. Because it was kind of a toss-up, and it was almost like, although everybody says that in all the rooms you shouldn't need Google, shouldn't need that, it almost like we needed to search to see what kind of food that really was. That's the only thing I think that really slipped us up on everything. So you got to stop a bomb, and throughout the whole hour that you're there, you hear this countdown almost beep, beep, beep. Come to find out, thought it was really cool, and I don't believe this will be a spoiler, but there's a timer on the bomb, which actually coincided with your timer in the room. I thought that was very well done. Best bomb I've ever seen.
Yes.
Best bomb I've ever seen.
By far.
Best bomb I've ever diffused. I thought all the codes in here, all the puzzles, everything were excellent. Really, I thought it was a very, very well done room.
I agree.
This is one of the first rooms we've ever done, like, first thing in the morning, too. Like, we're doing rooms between 5 and midnight. This one, we're started out at 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. and so not too shabby for.
Well, the sugar from the donuts helped.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Very good donuts. Award-winning donuts.
Definitely, if they don't have them, ask them where they got them.
Yeah.
They were damn good donuts.
Damn good donuts.
I like, these rooms are not very high-tech like a lot of the newer rooms coming out of that.
Right.
They're more of a Gen 1, Gen 2 type room. But I thought a lot of the stuff in there was kind of clever. Like the name I thought was kind of clever. The timer on the bomb was clever.
Right.
How it matched
Yep.
your time exactly.
Yep.
The bomb itself was clever. Even in the first room, I thought there was some stuff in there, little teeny tiny things that I just thought were clever that some people probably wouldn't even notice. But I think that they have in there, and it's a cool thing. And I like that. And it shows that, with smaller rooms, because they're not the biggest rooms.
No, and they didn't build the walls or nothing. They just found the place.
Yeah.
And they built the room inside. They built an escape room inside what they had.
It shows you that with smaller rooms and some creativity, you can make a decent room, a nice room, without having to go with all these brand new, state-of-the-art
You're right.
things in it, which in my mind was a little refreshing because a lot of the newer rooms coming out
Are nothing but
are all
or
these.
supposed 5 gen or whatever
Yeah.
they're called rooms where there's actually not one mechanical lock. Everything is
Yeah.
is magnetic or something to that effect. Which I don't mind, but a good mix of both
Right.
is my ideal room.
I agree.
This one, you actually felt like you were in a bunker. I mean,
Yeah.
it was right down to a bunker. Bunker is a one-room place, really. And I thought it was very, very well done.
And you really, they had clues really everywhere. You had to search through
You have to tear the
everything.
room apart.
Yeah.
You have to tear the room apart. And I love those rooms that you have to tear the room apart.
And there were a few things in it where you were positive it was going in one direction, and then all of a sudden it's in the other direction.
Yeah.
And I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
I love the misdirection. I love all the little details. I love that aha moment. And this room had it.
This room did.
Both rooms did. This room had it more, I think.
Right.
So
So what do you do? What do you think?
first one I gave a 3. This one I'm giving a 3.5.
I'm going to agree with you. Again, because they were a little heavy on the clues, on
Yep.
the helping along. But I just loved the way that it all worked out. Like, honestly, it's my favorite bomb I've ever seen. Not that I really like to see bombs, but I mean, you see a lot of things.
Yeah.
And sometimes they look cheesy. This one did not look cheesy.
Right.
This one looked legit. It was good. I mean, yeah, 3.5 is where I'm going.
Like I said, I think that when you visit this place, and I encourage everyone to go to this place, when you go there, if you're the type of person, like I think I am, that likes to catch the little tiny details that go over a lot of people's head that really are there to get a little laugh or a little chuckle, these rooms have it, I think. And I liked it. I would go there.
Sorry, I had the wrong website. But next one. Here we go.
Next one.
So yeah, all in all, 3 and 3.5. But definitely check them out. Very good people. And we told them about the passports.
Yep.
And actually, the other thing we're using now is egressors.com. That's keeping track of most of the North New England area. There's some Jersey, from probably Jersey up to New Hampshire, Maine, is where it's really keeping. Eventually, they want to make it so that we can actually add our own in and keep track that way. I like it. I like the way to keep track of it. I think it's really cool. All right, so next room is we went to Escape Rhode Island.
The Mausoleum.
And we did the Mausoleum. Now, we had booked this for, 6 o'clock, something like that. And personally, we don't like to be put in with other people that we don't know. I'm sure a lot of people are like that, and we understand the whole escape room
It's a business
model is you want to make money, and so not for nothing. I was checking, and nobody was booking. We get there, and 3 other people booked, which is all right.
They ended up being very nice people.
Very nice people.
They were serving our country.
Yep, they're military. They were actually based in Groton.
Yep.
So it was. They didn't tell us where they were originally from, but they were in school or something in Groton, Connecticut. So we went through this room, and sorry, I'm kind of fighting a little bit of a cold, but Escape Rhode Island is the sister company of Escape New Haven.
Yes.
We really should have figured that out. We didn't know that until they told us, but we should have figured it out by their logo. And the mausoleum was built before the crypt in New Haven. So, if you've seen our review for the crypt, our review for the mausoleum is not going to be much different. Except for the fact that half the game of the crypt and half the game of mausoleum are pretty much identical. The first half of mausoleum was really good. I liked it.
It was different.
Very different. Working with the 3 people from the military, oh my God, they worked so well together that they were kind of leaving us in the dust. And they haven't done, I think they've done 1 or 2. Like,
one of them was a newbie. The other 2
have done
1 or 2.
Okay, so
but they're military.
Worked, right.
I mean,
they work together.
Our country trains good people.
It was refreshing to work with people who
were smart,
right? Knew what they were doing, understood where we were coming from.
Yep.
And like
we're able to kick on to codes quick and kick on to things going on in their environment and pay attention to little details that a lot of newbies
wouldn't do. We've been there. Like I said, you can watch our review on the crypt. Pretty much it's gonna be the same thing. Like the game master actually said, have anybody done anything? He was like, yeah, we did Escape New Haven and we did the crypt, and the look on his face, he told us after, he goes, yeah, they took a lot of cues and a lot of puzzles and whatnot from here and made the crypt. I says, well, it is what it is. You guys are the same company, sister companies, whatever. So it's understandable it's going to happen.
When we were there, this bothered you a little bit more than it bothered me. It did bother me a little bit that we were kind of doing a room over again. I think it bothered you a little bit more than me. I thought it was a cool room, though. I thought even the part that was almost identical has a cool feel to it.
Well, it was different, but the same.
Yeah.
We already knew what we had to do, but
it was very immersive.
Oh, definitely immersive.
I was more put off by the fact that they were billing it as a mausoleum. I don't really consider it being a mausoleum.
No, I don't either. I think it's more of a crypt.
I was put off that they were billing it as the mausoleum for H.P. Lovecraft, and I'm not for people who are big fans of that, I didn't see a lot of that in the room.
Okay.
I would have rather them just say it was a tomb or it was a crypt I was very excited to do the room for those 2 taglines, that it was a mausoleum and we've never done a mausoleum.
Right.
And H.P. Lovecraft is a very specific genre, and to me, while it touched on it a little bit, it really wasn't.
It really didn't touch on it at all.
No.
Honestly, I loved, like I said, when we first walked in, I loved the first set of puzzles we had to do in there. A very dark room. And when you have 5 people in the room and 1 flashlight, I'm sorry, I broke out my cell phone to get a light, and I got in trouble for it. And you know what? I don't care. I'm sorry. You got 5 people in there, 1 flashlight. I understand it's going to be a dark, gloomy thing, but hello.
That brings up a point of when these game masters are running this room, in any room. That's exactly what they are. They're the game master. They're controlling the room.
Right.
And besides from giving hints and giving nudges and steering the game, before the game starts, I mean, they should make accommodations, whether it's a 2-person team or a 10-person team or something in the middle. If it's a 10-person team and you had 1 flashlight, it's just useless.
It is.
You know? And there has to be, I would assume, extra flashlights in back, extra black lights in back. You know, things that more than one person could use.
But I understand where they're coming from too. They're trying to make the game harder too. They don't want you to. I mean, most places don't want you out in 15 minutes.
No.
20 minutes. Most places, you know, they, especially you and me. You and me don't want to be out in 15, 20 minutes. It's happened. It's happened, and it's, you know. But you and me like to go right down to the wire. Take our time doing all the puzzles. I mean, like I said, it's happened. We've beaten rooms with 23 minutes left. We've beaten rooms with 35 minutes left. We've done a lot. But 1 extra flashlight ain't gonna hurt somebody in there. 1 extra black light ain't gonna hurt something, because fresh eyes help. All in all, it was just a good room. I forgot what we gave the crypt. I'm gonna give pretty much the same thing. I think it's a 3 all day long.
I'm at a 3.
Mainly because we've done most of the puzzles in there, and it wasn't a mausoleum. It really was not a mausoleum. I'm sorry, it wasn't.
No, I don't. Like I said, the description of the room, and most rooms are pretty accurately described when you do it. This one, I don't think any of the description fit the room at all, and I don't know. That turned me off, kind of, because you were going in with certain expectations of what it was going to be.
Right, I agree. All right, last rooms, I should say.
Last company.
Last company. Now, we did all these rooms,
And everybody,
and every place has told us,
you have to go here.
you have to go to Lock and Clue. They are phenomenal. They built up this hype for 2 days. Riddle Room, Escape Rhode Island, and Roomination. They all said Lock and Clue is the way to go. We said okay, so we go to lockandclue.com, which you'll see down here. I hate these pop-ups on these websites. Yes, I have my cheater, and we looked at their rooms. Now we did 2 of them. We did 2 of the rooms. We did Sorcerer's Curse, and we did the Inheritance. 1 room, they're bringing back the Cellar 2. It's down. They're rebuilding. They have the Green Room, which I kind of want to do the Green Room, but it is what it is. And they have the Vault, which is, he even said, one of the guys says it's just full of safes. I'm like, thank you. We're not doing them.
Right.
Us, Rhode Island safes, just doesn't work out. So it took a couple days to even go through all this and try to get a private booking. We got the private booking. We thank you for that. And we started with, everybody said, do the Sorcerer's Curse. Okay, we'll do the Sorcerer's Curse. So we get there. There's a 15% success rate on this room. It's for 3 to 6 participants. And the room's not suggested for beginners. If this is your first escape room, do a different room. You really, really need to know what the hell you're doing. This room is very difficult. At the time, we had 80 under our belt, 81, 82, and it was very difficult for us.
Very frustrating.
Very frustrating, yeah. Loved the way they brought us into the room. Very well done.
Very reminiscent of the way Masterpiece starts off their rooms.
Yes, exactly.
And if you saw our
review
on Masterpiece, I am not going to go into how they do it, but it's just
it's great,
out of this world.
So Sorcerer's Curse, you get in, and it looks like you're outside of a castle.
Great wow factor.
Yes, immersion, wow factor, boom, right off the rip. He knows what he's doing.
You are definitely magically transported
into a castle,
into another realm,
into medieval times,
and it's done very seamlessly. It is done with a big wow factor, and the whole place, the whole room,
right.
The whole puzzle, I should say, is very, very immersive.
Yes.
There's not one complaint about the appearance of this place.
Right.
And then you play the game.
All right. So when he told us before, he goes, "Okay, so two people can do the room, but I have to put somewhat of a cheater in an area." Okay. Whatever. So we get in, we figure it out. This escape room was huge. 1, 2, 3, 4. I even think it tells us in here too.
5.
Yeah, it's definitely 5-room game.
Yeah.
The first puzzle, great. We get through that. We get into this other one, and I was not a fan. We wasted so much time on this that even when we got through everything, went back, the creator even told us he had to push us through. He just popped it and let us through.
And reminiscent of one that we did in Connecticut, when you're done with it and the creator goes through to show you what needed to be done, and they have problems.
And you were only a quarter of an inch or so away.
You have problems. They have problems doing it. And they're the guy that made it. And we ran into this in other places.
We've run into it in other places.
And that kind of throws it off a little bit.
And again, that's the factor on where we get from Masterpiece.
Everything has to work.
Work all the time, whether the prop does it or you're doing it in the back. And he made it work every single time.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did. But I think he let it go too far,
right,
before he opened it for us or popped it for us. When in reality we had it, just not within
the range
tolerances.
that it needed to. Right.
Because the tolerances were just too narrow.
Right, and I agree with that. The delivery system is top notch. For this room was top notch.
One of the coolest delivery systems that
didn't even know it until he told us.
Right.
Did not know it until he told us.
I'm
not spoiling it.
I kind of wish we knew ahead of time.
Yes and no.
Or figured it out quicker.
I wish we figured it out.
Right.
But top notch. Escapism. You have a run for your money here. You really do with this delivery system that they used for this room. But all in all, this room I was not really a fan of. Immersion-wise, beautiful, awesome. Once we got a lot of the puzzles, great, really, really done well. But it seems like it's I don't know if it's a Rhode Island thing. Like you mentioned this, but a lot of it was a leap,
right,
to these clues to go to this lock way over here, or like I don't know.
We had talked about this, and it seems to me it's a regional thing. It seems to me it's a Rhode Island thing that we've seen it in most of the rooms where A plus B equals C, but what is C or where is C?
Right.
You know, we could do A plus B equals C, but having to figure out where C is a leap.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And even sometimes it's a leap to figure out A plus B.
Right.
Is kind of a leap sometimes.
Which that was more.
That's more
evident
in the next room.
in the next room.
Right.
Even this room was the same way.
Yeah.
I enjoyed a lot of the puzzles in there. Some personally I think need a little work. Again, immersion factor is phenomenal. With all the hype, the hype did not do this. It was a letdown,
Right.
to me. I'm honestly I'm gonna rate this room as a 3. There's a lot of things in there that I personally think could be done differently. And granted, it does say it's for a 3-person team, but the 3-person team wouldn't even get that cheater.
No.
And I think that even a 3-person team, that cheater should still be in there, because otherwise you waste. It's a time waster to me.
If you had a 6-person team, it should be in there, the way it's set up.
Well, maybe, but
That should be a standard part of that room, I think.
could not be. I mean, most other rooms that we've done that kind of puzzle with always had a cheater in there. Not a cheater, but it's always been a part of the room.
Right.
And whatnot. But
You can't stress enough the immersion of this whole game. Every room in it.
it was phenomenally done.
And wow factor after wow factor was really cool. It was just in my mind, I really liked 2 of the puzzles in my mind.
Me too.
And
Yeah, no, I agree.
the rest of it in my mind was kind of a letdown.
Right.
And I don't know if it's because it was hyped up that much, but it seemed to me that all the effort was put into the appearance.
Into the details instead of the puzzles.
And, I mean, the immersion blows everything out of the water.
Oh, yeah.
It really
Immersion
does.
wise, it was top notch.
You know, the wow factors, one after another, are incredible, but at the end of the day, if you can't make it through, and you're just getting frustrated after frustrated after frustrated, I don't know.
That's the way we felt. Little Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Honestly. Okay. Again, I'm going with a 3 for this room.
I'm doing the same.
It's just, it is what it is.
For every wow and for every great thing,
Something.
there was a
attractive.
negative
Yes.
to it. So in my mind, that gives it a 3.
Right. It was your average room. He claimed it's close to an LA room, which I have no idea what an LA room is. He's done rooms all over the US. That's fine. Don't call it an LA room if most people haven't been to LA to do rooms. It's what it is. So again, 3. So next one we did was the inheritance. Okay. This one, there's an envelope worn out, aged, this, that, the other thing. Lawyer comes, gets us, brings us up to the front gate of the house. Again, beautiful way to set this whole room up.
This guy looked and played the part of the sleazy lawyer.
So all the way down to like the accent, to like just the voice. It was
The way
done very well.
the way he walked, the way he, everything.
Yep, the swagger he had. It was very well done. And he says, "Here you go. Find a cure is what it really comes down to, or something. I forget what it is, but find the inheritance. That's what it was, because the inheritance is unclear.
The inheritance, yeah.
It was very unclear.
Yeah.
So you
I
gotta
think
go
I had
into his
explained
house.
to you what it was at the end.
He had to explain it at the end. It's
Yeah.
like, okay. Again, all the hype for this place, yeah, was great for the hype, but it was not. I don't even know how to explain it. But
This was another one of those rooms that started off outside the room,
Yep.
And I like that.
Yep.
And then when you got into the first room, because it is a multi-room game,
Right.
I thought when you got into the first room, it was a pretty good wow factor.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
I thought as you went along, your wow factors got less and less.
Yep.
And as you went along, the puzzles were less and less.
Yep.
The first room, I thought was great. I thought the puzzle was great. It was a fun puzzle.
We've never seen that puzzle before.
No, and
I thought it was gonna
I
be
had
very
fun doing it.
Right.
Once we figured out what it was, I thought it was pretty good. Getting into the second room, I thought was immersive wise a good room.
Yep.
And that's where it started going downhill.
Exactly. From downhill from there.
Things were a lot of leaps.
A lot of leaps.
I thought there were some cool things in there. I thought what you had to do to get the video, I'll tell them, to get the video to play.
Yep.
I thought was a cool thing.
Yep. Except leading up to doing that.
Yeah.
Was not a lot of fun.
I thought the door into the next room.
Oh, definitely.
Was really good.
Yep. I agree.
And I think that door to the next room was the last good thing of that place.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that after that it went downhill really quickly.
Well, it went downhill into the second room. It went down, very quickly. It went downhill. There was, to me, was a lot of time waster. A lot of time wasters in there. We did beat the room. We did beat this room. We didn't beat Sorcerer's Curse. But we did beat this room. I think we had, 5 minutes or something like that to spare. I forget. But all in all, I just... Like you said, the wow factor was right there when you first walked in. It declined. Then you had a quick wow factor. And declined again. And I just...
And declined quickly.
Very quickly. Things to us didn't make sense. Like you said, you think it's a regional thing where, okay, we got all this. Well, there's this. This is the same, this is the same, this is the same. How do you get from this to this?
Right.
It just, a lot of it didn't make sense. We talked to the guy after, the game master running the room, not the owner, but the game master running the room. We talked to him.
Who was a nice guy.
Very nice guy. But he got a little defensive because I don't think he was ever asked questions like this.
No.
And it was me asking, not trying to be an asshole, but I don't think he was actually understanding my thought
right
into their puzzles.
Right.
I'll apologize if you think that I was being rude or anything, but these are questions that I ask if I don't understand something. And I don't think you were understanding what I was asking.
I think that, to clarify, the questions you were asking were not mean, oh, your room sucks questions.
Right.
They were, can you explain to us how, when you built this puzzle, this is a complete puzzle?
How A, B, C.
How A corresponds to B to get C, and how you know that. And he just didn't, he would look at you and go, well, it just is. That's just how it is. And you're like, well, wait a minute. Well, this part is way over here, and this part's way over there, and nothing seems like it would be together. And his answers just kept getting more and more aggravating
and defensive.
Yeah.
Which, personally, I think he may have had something to do with creating that puzzle.
I mean...
Also. But that's my
if you're watching this, I thought you were a good guy.
I thought you were a great game master.
You know, I thought you were a good game master. The little interaction that we had, besides that conversation, I thought was good.
Yeah.
I didn't like the ending of this game.
I didn't either.
I don't like games that when you get into the final room and it's over, you still think that there's more to do. Like we got into this.
You didn't think it was over.
No, I didn't think it was over. We got into this last room and we knew time was short.
Yep.
And I was like, well, okay, now we gotta, do something here. And he opened the door and he's like, no, that's it, you won. And you're like, oh.
To me, I thought there was a ton of time wasters in this room, in this escape game. Again, like we said, wow factor, okay, declined. Wow factor, completely declined all the way to the end, in my eyes. Honestly, you got the wall factors. This room to me is honestly a 2.5 room to me.
And I'm gonna another point I want to make.
About that, but
Another point that I want to make, and we've had this discussion before, and it's going to be a little bit of a spoiler. One of the rooms is a laboratory.
right,
You could make, if you get a room and you put a file cabinet and a microscope in it and a couple posters on the wall, in my mind, that doesn't make a laboratory.
right,
You could take a blank room and fill it up with a million beakers and bottles and all kinds of stuff. So when you walk in, it looks like a laboratory. It wouldn't cost that much more, even if most of the stuff isn't used, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I get aggravated when we go into a laboratory room and it's empty. And this room was empty.
yeah,
There was a few things that everything in the room you interacted with, but with that being said, there were only like 2 puzzles in the room, so there wasn't that many things to interact with.
and they were time wasting puzzles in
Yeah.
a way too. I mean,
I'm
trying not to spoil these puzzles.
I
but-
love the lab room in Curiosity Shop 100 times more
right,
than this one, and this is the one that's supposed to be the one in the state.
right, the place in the state to go.
Yeah, in Curiosity Shop, I thought blew their lab out of the water.
I thought so too.
You know, and it just go, and it wouldn't have been that way with an extra couple $100 worth of lab equipment.
I agree, and that's what it felt like after we were done with the room. So, like I said, all in all, in my eyes, this room, I mean, you had a few cool wow factors here or there, but to me, it's a 2.5 room. I'm not saying don't do it, but I'm going 2.5 stars for this room.
I
sorry.
am gonna do the same thing. You know,
Because of the rapid decline of the room, rapid decline of the room and the puzzles jumping from this, and whatnot.
and if you, in my mind, if you compare the 2 rooms that we did, at least with the first room that we did, you might be able to give it a pass because of the immersion factor.
Right.
This one, I can't. The immersion factor wasn't there. The puzzles weren't there.
The immersion factor wasn't there throughout the whole room.
Right.
Sorcerer's Curse was there throughout the whole room.
Yeah.
This one, immersion was great. Again, declined more due to the puzzles too. Then, bam, another wow factor. Declined to. I'd rather do them all.
There were. It seemed to me once you got into the second room, everything from that point of getting into that room on was an afterthought.
Right. I agree.
And he did say that they had other puzzles in there that the inspector made them take out.
Right, but this still wouldn't have made a
And-
difference, I don't think.
Well, it might have. You don't know what the puzzles were. But in my mind, they had a cooler room that they had to adjust. So everything from that point on was just an afterthought because we got these guys to come in and pay for a room and we got space to fill.
Okay. So 2.5 across the board. Lock and Clue. You'll see their website here. That was our Rhode Island trip. All in all, I thought it was a very good trip.
Met some good people.
Met some really good people. Got our first stamps. Started using egressors more. Egressors.com. If you're into escape rooms, we'll put the website right here. Sign up. You keep track of your own. Keep track of your own escape rooms.
Yeah.
You really don't see anybody else's stuff. You see other people that visited, but you don't see who visited, just how many.
Yep.
Very well done. But like I said, all in all, we did 8 rooms in 3 days.
Had a great time.
Had a really great time. Really good food.
Found some really good places to eat.
Yes, very good place to eat. Love hole-in-the-wall diners. Gotta love them. They're the best food. Anyway, We now have a website, DIUEER.webs.com. ERR, sorry. Anyway, you'll see it right here. Check us out. See some photos of us, of our escape. You can meet the DIU escape crew now that we've dubbed anybody else who joins with us, friends-wise, friends, family, whatever. We are the DIU escape crew. That does the DIU escape room reviews. Everything we do is DIU. We do it up.
Do it up, baby.
Thank you for watching. Actually, check us out on Facebook. Check us out on Twitter. If you have places to, rooms that you want us to try out or review or whatever.
Or beta test.
Beta test. We do beta testing. We are now giving out cards when we're done with the place. Has all our stuff info on the back, except for the website, because I printed them before I made the website. Anyway, email us. That's your thing now.
DIU Escape Room Review, singular, at
gmail.com.
Everything else is plural.
Yeah, everything else is plural. So, again.
Yeah, call us up. We'll come down.
Give us a
we will travel.
Yes, we will. Man, that's about it for us, man. Rhode Island, great trip. See you when we see you. I'm down.
I'm Phil.
That is Phil.
Yes.
Later.
Peace.